If you wanna come and get it, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Welcome to Rosy Domino. This is the origin story. We're here to discuss our origin story.
Yeah.
Because right now, we're two Dutch girls living in Copenhagen. We're single. You just got out of corporate, Maersk. I just got out of Google.
Yeah.
And we've only known each other for 2.5 years.
Exactly.
Very short. And now all of a
about
sudden we're like creating a
sitting
podcast.
here and we're like, fuck it, we need to do this.
And
we need
like,
to have a mic.
We find it so
We need to get
exciting.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting and a bit scary at the same time.
Yeah.
It's all part of the process.
It's all part of the
Part
process.
of the process. It needs to come out. For some reason, don't you feel as well that there was a point where we talked about it and it was like, yeah, there's no option to not have this come out. We need to express this.
It was never not a possibility
No.
that we weren't going to do something creative together.
Yeah.
And I think we both felt it the moment we met each other.
Yes.
Well, I feel like I manifested you because I wanted to have more creative friends that I could do creative things with.
Yeah.
I realized that was a shortcoming I had in my life. And then I think, you came along and we realized we both actually find doing creative things fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. I love that. I love that you manifested me. Pretty cool. Spiritual friend of mine. So how we met each other.
Yeah, how do we know each other?
How do we know each other?
We met through friends.
Yeah.
And I knew your then boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then you came to Copenhagen.
Yes.
And it was a night out. And we were sitting at a table opposite each other.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that very well.
And it wasn't an immediate click.
No. When I met you, I knew like, okay, I'm curious about this woman, this girl. I'm very curious to meet her and to get to know her. But you had a certain like
standoffish
vibe.
I tend to have that.
You also are a bit avoidant, or
Yeah, because I already knew I found you interesting and I loved all the clothes you were wearing, but I didn't say it at the time.
Thank you. Nice.
Yeah. I tend to be a bit like standoffish, but then when you have me. And
that's really true. That's really true.
Yeah.
Really true. I tend to be sometimes too direct and let it too far in and then have to set a boundary again.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm more like that. But in the meeting, like I can, I am a person that can read the room. So then I wouldn't like keep poking to get something. I also think it wasn't the right time for you because you were in your runner high.
I was,
Low, maybe runner low.
Runner low. Well, high and low. Yeah, I went through a year of training a lot and also being into running something called ultra marathon. So
sick.
That's like,
what is that even?
Yeah,
like, can you explain what it is?
It's basically marathon distances.
Yeah.
Well, beyond marathon distances, and in my case, on trails in the mountains.
Okay.
So for a year, I really took that seriously, and I was kind of out of being social.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when you just got to Denmark and
I just got there. We got to meet each other. I was also still figuring out this group of friends. But it was a bit of we were in different times, both of us.
But you know what is funny though?
Stages.
Kasper. So Kasper's in our friend group. I would say my best guy friend here in Denmark. I remember he also said something about you. Like, how do you feel about like Do also being like one of the guys? I'm one of the guys in our kind of predominantly guy friend group.
Yes.
And then you came. And then I left because I went running, and then you were the girl amongst one of the guys. I was like, who dat? Who dat?
Need to watch this
And
girl.
he said, like, either you guys are gonna like butt heads, or you're gonna like
flourish together,
and be great. And I think maybe to begin with we did butt heads, but now we are. So basically, Kasper has a crystal ball because he predicted it.
How our friendship really ignited, if you can say it like that. Was of course when again through a mutual friend we were like connected to each other
at a wedding.
Yes, because we both came solo and she decided like, hey, maybe I will put you guys together to get to know each other better as well.
And that's where it really kicked off. And then we just started seeing each other a lot more.
Yes.
And we started realizing actually how much we have fun together.
Yes.
And how much we can laugh together. We're complementary.
Yeah, agreed.
how else do you think that we're complementary besides avoidant and more leaning into emotional connection?
If I can bring it to not complementary, but sort of where our paths are similar, the uncertainty we're trying to figure out, both of us right now. So now we're really, that also again created a bigger, I don't know, connection, because we have each other in this time where we are let go by big corporates, you Google, me Maersk, and then having to figure out the uncertainty together.
Yeah.
And where do we, or what did we think about the corporate world, and what were we even doing actually? Do we like it?
Well,
there's so many questions, and I think there, at least we have each other in that journey.
We have each other, but I think we also saw in each other.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot to say and to do.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of energy.
That's something that really connects us. I think we're both very
spicy.
Neuro spicy.
I think we both realize like we have so much more to offer than we could at our corporate, and why don't we have an outlet for that? Let's
express it.
Because I don't know if, when I speak for Google, like when I did like presentations and stuff, you tell yourself you're creative, but really, there's so many rules, and whenever you present something, it has to be like, according to the certain way, and
brand guidelines,
brand guides. And it's funny because I worked on YouTube, the creative platform, and I'm only realizing now that I'm out of Google how incredibly like rigid I was doing this work, and how also limited I was in my work, because I was still a person working for Google. The brand I was hiding under was Google, and now I think that's where we are related. We're stepping into our own brand. So we're stepping into our brand of Rosy Domino. But we're also figuring out passions, voice, and how can we do something with that gives us meaning and purpose that isn't limited, in our case, to a 9-to-5. Because neither of us really want to go back, but we might need to. Temporarily.
And it can come in many forms and ways.
Yes, there's many ways.
So we need to figure that out. But I mean, there is of course mortgages and rents to pay
in this beautiful city
that
we don't want to leave.
In this beautiful city of Copenhagen, that's also very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an expensive city to live in. And I think the people that live here know that very well. And the people that visit actually also see that very clearly. Every time I have friends coming over, they're like, well. You could have prepared me for this a little bit. But I try to, But then you never think of a fucking glass of wine that is just that's money. That's a whole topic on itself,
That's a whole topic
right?
on itself,
And how comfortable are you with seeing, there's an end to that means. But it shouldn't take away from, we feel this as I think both of us, as an internal desire. Every time we talk about it, we're working on it. It's also like we get so hyped up because we feel there's something there, and we want to share this with people and see if they can become comfortable to share back as well and join this as a community eventually.
Yes, because we had each other when we lost our jobs, and many people, there's a lot of shame and guilt around losing your job or not knowing.
No, exactly.
We all pretend like we know. Like if you look at LinkedIn, it's all like, look what I did, and I now got this thing.
We celebrate all getting the jobs, but why don't we celebrate finding your true self?
Also just being lost.
Being lost is good.
Why do we do that in private? It's like, no, I'm fine.
I'm good.
But actually, I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's good.
Sorry.
No, fuck.
Well, whatever. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we're swearing, maybe we're not.
No, but indeed, there's a lot of shame around it, about being honest about it.
And stigma.
Sharing it.
Because also from our parents' generation, you're supposed to have a job.
Yeah, and get the next job ASAP.
Whereas the world is changing, and it's interesting. I learned that from my younger brother, who actually, he got shunned in our family for not pursuing a formal education, because he was following his own path and wanted to start his own thing. And now I'm realizing maybe we had it all wrong, because all these structures might be changing to step into what we really want to do. But then you have to step away from the very addictive thing, which is a monthly paycheck, which is addictive.
Sort of, it is. Because that's what you every time live towards. Seeing that come in, it's like, now I'm chill again. But
in a way, it's just giving your power away to something outside of you, and that's what I really respect about my younger brother. He's done this already for a long time, and now my younger sister and I are like following that path, and I'm like the oldest, but I'm actually exactly. We'll talk about that with him.
We'll
sometime.
talk about that. Yeah, we need to bring them in. We will bring them in.
We'll bring them in.
That will happen.
Bring them
Soon.
in.
Bring them in. The family.
The whole family.
Yeah, we need the whole family.
Yeah, you're gonna interview my whole family.
Yeah, I will.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be Then finally we have some
people
actually sitting on the couch.
No.
That is this is exactly why we do this, and there's a lot to unravel. There's a lot we will unravel.
And I think we also hope, because we're taking a bet on ourselves, but we hope that, and we believe that everyone has a voice and expression, and we hope that we can just invite others to give it a go with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dare to also step into that uncertainty. And you don't need to be without a job.
No.
This can also be when you're in your job and you feel like there's something, or you maybe don't have enough fulfillment in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it becomes too boring. Maybe, I don't know, you feel something is lingering, but you don't really know what it is, and you want to try to figure that out. There's so many ways or moments or situations you can be in, and that this could be applicable for.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think, why do we think it could be interesting to listen to this journey is if you're just not entirely fulfilled in what you're doing. You're maybe scared of, where the world is going with AI and the uncertainty, and you want to kind of just see in real time how we unpack that. And we want to bring it also in a very real way. Yeah.
We don't want to, this will be, we're hanging out here. We're currently in my apartment. We're sitting against the couch. We won't overproduce this because we want to keep it real. Because we're bringing you guys on a journey. There's nothing there yet. And we're seeing where this will end. Yeah. And I think that's the beauty in it. Your brother said it also in a really nice way. Build in public. That's what we're doing.
And I think we're having fun. Yeah. And as soon as we're not having fun, then we will stop. Then I can see your face like, what will happen?
Okay, let's not talk about that yet.
But we're having fun. I think why I'm saying that.
We'll keep having fun.
For real. And I think, people sometimes associate job with like work and life balance. But I found nearly all of my jobs so fun that I would have done them for free. The only time I didn't like my job was when it was really a job, was actually during my running time, when I was also just very unaligned to myself. Because then a job became a job. Yeah. But otherwise, I was having a lot of fun. And I think I also want to... I just believe... I don't want to prove anything.
Want to prove.
We want to prove.
Well,
maybe. But that you can have like fun and work and money can coexist.
Yes. Because it can.
Yeah.
Because it can. And we've seen... Can. And we've seen it. We've just been to Cannes. So that's why we're laughing about this. We'll definitely have another episode about how our experiences was.
At Cannes, the capitalist circus. Which was amazing also.
The amazing capitalist circus. I mean, I have many inspiring friends as well that have started something for themselves. And we'll definitely bring them in as well to talk about their journey. We see people doing it, and they find a purpose, and they find a way to have
a passion.
The passion.
The passionate people, they're the most interesting people, I find.
Me too.
Because they're passionate, and they've somehow created their life around their passion, and they make it work. Yeah. And I think bringing those people in, we can prove you can make a wonderful life around your passion.
This is our passion.
Yeah,
like
actually.
This is what we're starting right now, which is interesting, right? Because we'll bring these people in. We want to create excitement for people to see and hear other people's stories. Maybe you relate to things we say. Maybe it inspires you. That's what we eventually want. And feel the support in a time where you're really struggling with what is happening. Because we also really want to talk about everything that being let go by a company brings with it as well. Like what happens when you're let go? What phases do you go through? And
we want to destigmatize that it's weird or hard or lonely or any of the things people might feel when that happens. Yes. Because all feelings are valid and welcome.
And good to express and talk about for sport.
So that's us.
There's many more things about us, but that everybody will need to figure that out through the episodes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, I think, that binds us, but a lot of like personal passions we have as well.
Yeah.
And we will draw things from that, learnings from that, and take that in as well, right?
And we'll share honestly, like how we're also, because we're creating this together, but how we're also trying to uncover our own journeys, passions into something that we care about also next to this. Yeah. Because I think we both believe also where the world is going, like we'll be doing many different things at once. We will. Yeah. It's no longer your person X and your brand manager in this company or that title for that thing. I think we can play around with it and be creative with how we fill in our lives. Yeah. And we're also going to, play around with that and share about that on our journey together and how we're supporting each other's separate journeys.
Exactly.